Welcome back. Sure has been a while since someone came to see old Mr. LeBeau, hasn't it? Mon Dieu. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was more of y'all last time you were here, right? Oh dear. See, that's what happens when y'all don't listen to me. I've got a real treat for y'all this time. We have a short story for you, but I'm joined by a lovely guest today. Audrey Parvis was just turning 10 this year. May 8th was on Sunday, and it was Saturday afternoon. Audrey, being terrible at dropping hints, had her mother bring her to the 99-cent store, letting her choose her own birthday present.
Now just look around and let me know if you see anything. I'll be looking at novels over there,
her mother had told her. A knick-knack here, a curio there. It was a quaint little shop. Audrey didn't know what to get. There were so many things to choose from. She'd just been about to settle on a stuffed rabbit toy when she saw it in the window display. A beautiful old Victorian doll with brown hair and blue eyes, with a red dress with blue trims.
"Oh, she's so pretty,"
she said in awe of the doll's beauty. She happily skipped to her mother and brandished the doll. Mrs. Parvis raised the doll up like Audrey did.
"Wow, something like this in a simple 99-cent store? You can buy it, dearie."
She handed it back to Audrey, who had ran to the old cashier.
"I'd like to buy this doll, please, sir,"
she asked politely. The old man squinted at the doll and said, "Oh, no, child. You wouldn't want that doll." Confused, she asked,
"What? Of course I want this doll."
He just shook his head and said, "Well, all right," but his next words were mumbled under his breath. She took the doll off the counter and held onto it as Mrs. Parvis paid for a few bucks. On the way home, she couldn't stop thinking about the doll. Such ornate features done with perfect accuracy. Such a beautiful doll needed a name.
"Molly. Her name is Molly."
She hugged the doll tight on the way home. Upon even closer inspection after arriving home, she noticed a flaw. Molly had an extra finger on her right hand. Audrey pinned this as weird, but nothing is perfect. After playing with the doll for the entire day, it was bedtime at 9. The doll was porcelain, so she left Molly on the living room table to play with her after breakfast. Her mother kissed her good night and walked down the stairs to her bedroom. Audrey had lovely dreams, her playing with the living Molly in a meadow and dreams such as that. Then she awoke, hearing clacking. Tiny but audible clacking footsteps. They grew in volume. Is that mumbling? Audrey stopped whimpering and listened closely.
"First step. Molly's on the second step. Molly's on the third."
Refusing to take any more, Audrey yelled out,
"Mommy, Mommy, come quick!"
The tiny footsteps pattered away as Mrs. Parvis rushed to her daughter's room.
What? "Mommy, I heard footsteps, and I think it was Molly."
Her mother sighed, unhappy at being woken up at 11:15 at night. She took Audrey and turned on the light in the living room. Molly hadn't moved an inch from her position. Audrey unhappily went back to bed as her mother left to rest. She managed to get 30 minutes of rest before the sing-song chanting and clacking returned. The chanting continued past 3.
"Molly's on the fourth step. Molly's on the fifth step. Molly's on the sixth. Mommy, Mommy!"
Calling her mother again, Audrey insists she believes that it's Molly who's making those noises. Another checkup on Molly reveals no change.
"Audrey Veronica Parvis, I really am getting tired of this act. Molly is a doll. She can't walk. She can't talk. And there's nothing to be scared of."
Audrey looked uneasily at Molly. The longer she stared, the more Molly's expression looked malicious.
"I have to work overtime tomorrow, and you have daycare, so please sleep and forget about Molly. She'll seem less scary during the day. All right, Mommy.
She sullenly climbed the stairs to her room and lies back in bed. She manages to get some sleep before the clacking and chanting comes back. It exceeded the 6th step and continued. There were only 12 steps to her room.
Molly's on the 7th step. Molly's on the 8th step. Molly's on the 9th. Mommy? Molly's on the 10th step. Molly's on the 11th step. Mother!
She screamed out. Silence was her only response.
Molly's on the 12th.
There was silence in those heart-pounding seconds, but the doorknob jangling broke the silence. The doorknob creaked open. There stood Molly, holding a steak knife and all bloody. Audrey scrambled under her bed, hoping Molly hadn't seen her.
Molly killed your mommy. Now Molly's gonna kill you.
She grabbed Audrey by the hair and pulled her from under the bed, pointing the knife towards the crying girl, and said,
Molly's in your room.
On the corner of Cedar Boulevard and 24th Avenue, Molly is still in the window display in the 99-cent store, still run by the same old man. She's waiting for another victim to fall for her charms. She now has 8 fingers on her hand. Goodness me. I don't know about y'all, but I've always had an issue with porcelain dolls. I never cared too much for their fish-eyed stare, and quite frankly, they creep me out. I'd like to give a big thank you to the Mistress of CreepyPasta, who provided the extra voices on tonight's story. If y'all haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to her and myself, and who knows, if you like this story, maybe I can convince her to come back and tell us another. Would y'all like that? I think that'll do it for me, kids. So, until next time, y'all stay safe out there in the dark. You hear?